need to understand the psychology, and that's what's so interesting about your last speaker.
Yes.
Psychology of the new Trump party, what they call his minions, who are all so loyal to him.
So I want to show you guys this video because this strategist, Bill Blaine from the UK, breaks down and exposes the mindset of the latest Donald Trump lackey, the Donald Trump loyalists who are going to do whatever it is that he says, and they're going to bend the knee simply because of the fact that they want to show Donald Trump that he can be pleased with what it is that they're doing. Let's watch this video, and I want to give you my thoughts towards the end.
Now, all you need to do to understand that is listen to the kind of stuff we saw on that email chain last week. We're a bunch of freeloaders. We deserve everything that's coming to us. The woman who criticized somebody for asking a question about America with a rabid attack on what goes on with the Muslim majority in the UK. We've got to face it. America is thinking differently. And if we simply accept tariffs without some kind of strong arm back, they will continue to do so. And I think this is where Trump's psychology comes in. We can't just do nothing. We have to do something aggressive.
What can we do? What should we do?
Well, what's one of Trump's triggers? It's the royal family. Nothing pleases him more the fact that he's the first president to be invited a second time for a state visit. Let's make quite clear that that's possibly on the line. If you're damaging our economy, we can't really host you. And, if you're damaging Canada, as you're doing, we can't host you because the king is also the head of state there. We need to show that Britain is not just there to be kicked in the teeth, which is the approach he's taking.
And just tell me how we avert this exceedingly undesirable situation of a trade war. We get that the Prime Minister doesn't want one. We don't want one, do we? We don't want any part in it. All you need is the whiskey example to realise that it's going to be death to industry. It's going to be terrible for us.
Yeah, well, listen to my accent. I'm very, very clear that we've got to be exporting as much whiskey as we can.
Yeah.
But we cannot afford a situation where we let the Americans act in the way they're doing. Now, it's not just tariffs. If you take a look at the agreement that the Americans, and I would use this word deliberately, exhort out of Ukraine just now, and the comments they've been making about how they're going to take over Greenland, it is time that we stood up and said enough's enough. Now, exactly how you do that in the terms of negotiation, that's where it gets difficult. Do we suddenly say, well, if you impose these tariffs, we will be forced to do things? We are reliant on the US for much of our military hardware. We're reliant on an awful lot of stuff like chemicals. We export pharmaceuticals to them. They export chemicals to us. But there are areas where we can hurt them back, and one of these is agriculture. Machinery, we can hurt them back as well. Now, that maybe sounds like a trade war, and that would be a terrible thing. But unless we put the foot down, things will simply get worse. This is not somebody who is going to stop. This is somebody who's going to continue pushing and pushing and pushing, because that is what people like J.D. Vance and Hesketh and Walsh and all the others are like. They want to gain points in front of their lord and master. So the harder they push, the more insulting they become, the more we have to push back and show you cannot do that with us.
And that is 100% true. Like, we've seen multiple different times that all of the people within Donald Trump's administration are going to do whatever it is that they can to please their Lord and Savior, Orange Donald Trump. We've literally seen it. So even from when he's speaking in the Oval Office, and we're seeing that he's getting certain members of his administration, him sitting down, them standing up next to him, pretty much glazing him, praising him for literally all the things that it is that quote unquote he's done. But, what has he done thus far? We've seen it so many times. Once again, we've also seen the mindset of this current administration is completely different. They're literally coming for one of their closest allies, us in the UK, and then also Europe as well. These aren't people that are thinking like normal Republicans. This isn't that party. This isn't those individuals, and we're seeing that they're willing to do whatever it is. We saw the Vice President J.D. Vance going over to Greenland and standing behind the podium and absolutely bashing Europe and bashing Denmark just because of the fact that Donald Trump has now decided that he wants Greenland. This isn't a normal administration that we're dealing with. The mindset from this administration isn't what it once was. And we have to understand that we're not dealing with the typical type of individual who's on the right. That's not what it is that we're dealing with. So the UK definitely has things to do. And to go just a bit off point, but speak about what it is that Bill Blaine said, 100%. Donald Trump is that type of person. He likes to be the first to be able to do anything. You always see it when he's speaking. What's he speaking about? His achievements, what he's done, what he managed to be able to do. Well, most definitely, what needs to happen in this situation, in my personal opinion, is the king does need to turn around, and the king needs to say, well, listen, if you're going to put our country in a bad position, well, unfortunately, we can't have you come here. We can't have you come into the UK to visit us because you're visiting us to keep the ties close, but in the background, you're actually hurting us, and we're meant to be allies. So I definitely agree. That is definitely what it is that the king should do. Let me know your guys' thoughts about the mindset and the psychology of this current administration and the way that they're kind of going about things. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below this video. While you're down there, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and give the video a thumbs up. I'll see you guys in the next one.